Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On-Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on-demand care for common ailments, such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org.
Look, we know budget meetings can be dull, but that's exactly what this year's Idaho legislative session has been all about. We break down the latest budget moves, plus all of the week's news from the State House on our Legislative Roundup newsletter. Kick off your Monday with our recap by subscribing at boisestatepublicradio.org.
More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. This October, one lucky artist will get the opportunity to live and create in one of Idaho's most breathtaking landscapes, the Sawtooth National Recreation Area. The Sun Valley Museum of Art and the Sawtooth National Recreation Area are inviting artists to apply for the 2026 Artist in Residence program, where they will spend 2 weeks creating new work in more than 750,000 acres of mountains and alpine lakes and sweeping sagebrush valleys. So joining us now to talk more is Courtney Gilbert, Assistant Director and Curator of the Sun Valley Museum of Art. Courtney, nice to have you back.
Hi, Gemma. Thanks so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So Courtney, for folks who aren't familiar, give us an overview of the Sawtooth National Recreation Area Artist in Residence program and what makes it unique.
Sure. So there's been a long tradition on public lands of artist in residence programs. Creators of the Moon has a really wonderful one that they've been running for about 10 years or maybe more. And about 5 years ago, Wendy Jaquet, our former state rep here in the Valley, asked me why the Sawtooth NRA didn't have one. And I said, that's a really interesting question. It's a great idea. We should look into that. So I got in touch with Kirk Flanagan, who was the area ranger there at the time. And he also was excited about the possibility because they were coming up on their 50th anniversary the following year and had planned a whole series of events to celebrate that, and thought having an artist present artwork as part of that celebration would be really special. So we dove in together, and I think one of the things that's special about this particular residency is that a lot of national park residencies or national monument residencies require artists to live, maybe a little bit off the grid, kind of spending time more in isolation. And this residency allows artists the opportunity to be very remote as they'd like to be, but also be very close to Stanley. So they get to know some of the community members and can engage with people in lots of different ways while they're there, at the same time that they're able to go off into wilderness and into backcountry and get inspired.
So what does it really mean then to invite an artist into a protected landscape? Because the Sawtooth National Recreation Area is a protected area. And not just as a visitor, Courtney, but I mean really someone who's going to interpret, that space and that place.
Yeah. So the residency, because the artists are staying typically either in a bunkhouse or in a small cabin, they don't generally have a huge studio space. It's not as if they have a space in which to make ceramics, but every artist who's done it has had kind of like a small desk area and has spent time in the backcountry, exploring. And each artist who's come has come with a particular point of view, a particular interest. So for instance, the first artist in residence, Catherine Taylor, was particularly interested in the wildlife in the region. Rebecca Schultz, who was here 2 years ago, was fascinated by the area's geology and made that sort of the subject of her study. Claire Remsburg, who was artist in residence in 2023, who's actually based in Idaho, was really drawn to the landscapes in particular, and also to the geology and the rivers. And so I think what's special is that we invite artists to kind of look at that place through their particular lens, spend time in it, maybe make sketches, make watercolor paintings, make photographs, certainly. Rebecca made maps of each of her hikes that she incorporated later into a big piece. And then often, these 2 weeks are kind of intense opportunities for reflection. And then artists go back into their studio and make more work inspired by that experience, and then share that work with us here a year later so that we have the opportunity to kind of see the place through their eyes.
So, Courtney, who's eligible to apply? I mean, and what kinds of visual art mediums are you hoping to see?
Yeah. Any visual artist is eligible to apply who's over 18 and based in the US. We have not limited the media. We're open to anything: sculpture, painting, fiber art, photography. It could be actually a sound artist. It could be a filmmaker or a multimedia artist. We're really quite open. And the primary, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, this year, one of the things my colleagues at the Sawtooth NRA asked me to include in the call is that we were really hoping that the artist in residence will respond to the mission of the Sawtooth NRA, which is to assure the preservation and protection of the natural, scenic, historic, pastoral, and fish and wildlife values of the area, and in relationship with recreation. So we're hoping that that list of ideas will give artists lots of material to work with.
Outreach is a required part of the residency, is my understanding. So why is it important that the artist, not only create work, but then they also engage directly with the community?
Yeah, well, it's been a really great opportunity, I think, for people here and in Stanley to meet artists from other places, often who come to this landscape with fresh eyes, and to learn about their techniques. We've had artists do workshops, give artist talks. And I think it's important to the artists too that they kind of get to know the people who live here and understand the place through our point of view too. So both of those things are able to happen through this exchange.
And the residency actually culminates in an exhibition at the Visitor Center. So can you talk to us a little bit about that before I let you go?
Sure. Yeah. And so originally, one of the requirements of the residency was that the artist donate an artwork to the Sawtooth NRA. But as we thought about what that would mean over the years, we decided to shift the model toward a small exhibition in the Visitor Center north of Ketchum. And last year, we installed Rebecca Schultz's exhibition in early June, and she showed watercolors that she had made using pigments that she made from minerals she found in the Sawtooth NRA, and from plants too that she worked with, and ash from wildfires. And it was this just really lovely, beautiful exhibition with also samples of her materials. And it's kind of a smallish space. It's only about 20 feet of wall space, but it's an opportunity for I think people to see the results of the residency and the way that place has inspired artists. So we'll be doing that every year. The artist has a whole year to prepare the materials, and then we help them ship them here, and we install them and make their labels and interpretive materials in kind of collaboration with the artists.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Courtney, for taking time. We've been speaking with Courtney Gilbert's Assistant Director and Curator of the Sun Valley Museum of Art, talking about the Sawtooth NRA Artist in Residence Program. And thanks so much for listening to Idaho Matters from Boise State Public Radio. Do you have thoughts about today's episode? Make sure you email us at idahomatters@boisestate.edu or reach out on our socials. And you can also listen to Boise State Public Radio podcasts, including Idaho Matters, on YouTube.
How's everybody doing? You guys all right?
Boise State Public Radio and Duck Club Entertainment present the Charlie Hunter Trio.
Charlie Hunter, ladies and gentlemen.
Wednesday, March 18th at the Shrine Social Club in Boise. Blending jazz, funk, blues, and rock. Hunter is a guitarist, producer, and bandleader who will present his unique finger-picking technique on custom hybrid guitars. Tickets are available now at theduckclub.com.